In today's video, I'm going to be attempting to build a £500 under 23 Asian America hybrid team. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, and let's just get straight into things. So I was tempted to do a separate team for Asia and America. After doing a bit of research, it doesn't look like I have that many options if I separate Asia under 23s and America under 23s. So I've combined them both in one video. I'm not sure what the split's going to be, whether that's 2 Asian players, 3 American. I've not decided that at all yet. I know the goalkeeper situation in the Americas isn't great, so we're probably going to have to pick up a goalkeeper from Asia. And yeah, that was one of the main reasons why I've decided to combine them both. So like always, we always start with the goalkeepers. And the situation isn't great. So, if you're looking at J-League fixtures, they're going to finish 13th of November, obviously, for the World Cup. MLS 6th of November. Most leagues are going to finish around that time anyway. They just won't restart effectively because their season will be over as they've started already. As you can see, MLS is like almost 2/3 of the way in. Same for the J-League. For this remaining season, you're only going to get 1/3 of games. Most of the European seasons haven't really started yet. So when the World Cup does come around after the World Cup, the European seasons will then resume. And then from my understanding, the Asian leagues and the American leagues won't start up for a little while because it'll be their new season then. Okay, enough of that. Goalkeeper time. I don't love the situation. You've got Saskai, who's number 1 right now at Reysol. Tani's number 1 at Shonan. And Osako at Hiroshima. Celentano's a decent shout. Cincinnati can see too many goals for me, and with the whole new Matrix thing, I just don't fancy him that much. Novo's been playing in goals for Atlanta. I'm not sure if he's the long-term answer there. Slonina obviously as well, but there's rumours that he's going to move maybe to a Chelsea, Real Madrid. He'd be loaned back out, I assume. He's a little bit expensive for my liking. He's only 18 years old though, so there's a load of utility there, don't get me wrong. Pulskamp has been recently starting in goals for Sporting Kansas City, but they've started the season in horrific form. So I don't really want to be touching that, and I kind of just want to play as safe as I can, really, when it comes to my goalkeeper, specifically in under 23s. For me, it's out of Tani and Osako. Saskai is a really good option, don't get me wrong. I own all 3, to be completely honest, but there's a chance that Reysol do get another goalkeeper in after their main goalkeeper went to Saudi Arabia, basically. So yeah, Saskai's been filling in. He's been great. Don't get me wrong, he might finish off the season and continue to be number 1. But I think there's just way less threat to Tani's and Osako's positions. Hiroshima are a better team than Shonan, but Shonan have been really, really good recently. They've been keeping a load of clean sheets. As you can see, Tani's scores have been excellent, to be completely honest. Under the new Matrix, his lows are lower, the 10 and the 15 here, but he does get a boost on a couple of these green scores. It probably does have to be a Tani situation, I think. Osako's good as well, don't get me wrong. He plays on a better team that, they're higher in the league. He is just suspect to a few mistakes, which I don't like. So that's why I'm going to opt for Tani. He is going to cost us at a floor price, what's that, £203, which is expensive, but under 23 goalkeepers who play are expensive. There's not many of them. We just went through that, so that's kind of somewhat justified. Defenders is the next situation we need to conquer. Daiki Shugioka definitely comes to mind straight away just because of the Shonen link. I know stacks or defensive stacks after this new Matrix change doesn't sound too pleasing, but he is one of the players. He plays left centre back basically, and he does take set pieces. And with the new Matrix, as you can see here, he has definitely benefited from the new scoring Matrix. So I do think there could be some merit in getting him in. He's not going to break the bank at £61. He's definitely not cheap, but I like the correlation with Tani. If Shonan do get clean sheets, then you've got a massive advantage. Diego Palacios is a good shout. Lee Han Bum, definitely good players. Seo Young Woo's been off the pace a little bit recently, but always a good option. £87 though. I don't love that option. And what have we got? Tsunomoto could be a decent shout for £37. That's actually really cheap. He is another one that has benefited from the new Matrix change, being a wing back or right back, whatever. As you can see here, his L40 goes from 54 to 57. We'll look at it in graph form here. So this is the new Matrix. This is the older one. So yeah, his peaks are higher, which is obviously good. But to be fair, Antlers haven't been great this season, specifically defensively. So yeah, they've been leaking goals, and that is obviously going to hurt defenders. But nonetheless, at £37, I do really like that. I'm going to have one more little look. I like John Tolkien as a wing-back as well, to be fair. That could be cheap, £29. I kind of don't mind that. Koga is a decent shout, although he does rely on his passing ability, and defenders have been nerfed a tiny bit with their passing. But yeah, that doesn't mean he's going to be a bad pick. I still own one of him. I think he's still going to be good. Julian Araujo, £15. That's, for me, very cheap. I don't love going with MLS defenders, to be honest, but I do really rate him as a player. But you know what? I'm going to push the boat out and say Daiki Sugioka is the boy for us, just because of the Shonen link with Tani. It is risky. If they do concede a load of goals, then you're basically out of it. But if they do get a clean sheet, I think with Daiki's AA game on top of the clean sheet, as well as Tani's clean sheet, I do think you could really set yourself up for a really high score. And that's kind of the whole point of Sorare. You obviously want to get the highest scores as possible to give yourself a chance at winning the best prizes possible, right? So we're basically halfway through our money, £265 spent, and we need to get a midfielder, forward, and an extra player. Okay, we'll start off with midfielders. I don't love the look of midfielders in Asia specifically. There's just not enough quality there for me. Thiago Almada would be a lovely pickup, but £210 is very expensive for us. Mihalovic just recently come back from injury, £117. I don't mind it. There is still transfer speculation around him, so be wary of that. Santiago Rodriguez at 123 is very nice, I got to be honest. It is a little pricey when you look at like a Cifuentes for 50 quid, but I think, with Tati gone, not that they played in the same position, but I just think players like him should step up to the plate a little bit more and be a little bit more decisive. Pablo Ruiz at £58 isn't bad at all, I don't think. His prices dipped recently. MLS and Asia prices have dipped massively, and South American players as well. There's definitely merit in building an under-23, Asian/American under-23 team right now because, yeah, prices are on the low, mainly because European season is about to start. Alan Varela, I don't love that option, but £37, it's not too bad. One Sang is actually a decent shout. His limited card is a midfielder playing in the K-League for Ulsan, £61. Kind of don't mind that. I do like Santiago Moreno. His card is recently been minted. He hasn't been on the platform for long. Playing for Portland Timbers, and as you can see, he does score very well. The matrix hasn't really changed much for him, I wouldn't say. If anything, he's been nerfed a tiny bit, but nothing too drastic. He does take penalties, I believe, as well, or definitely shares them. He could definitely be an option. Let me just get rid of some of these tabs. We don't need all these open. And let's have a look down here. Tanaka's a decent shout. Facundo Torres at £50 isn't bad at all, playing for Orlando. There's nothing that's like screaming at me. Adson's a decent player for Corinthians at £16. Caceres is a very good player for £15 as well. Won't score you crazy high though. Will be consistent, but maybe not enough to really hit those peak scores when you need them. Barco, £43. I don't mind, but River Plate have been really poor of late, to be honest. My boy Akida in the mix. Ooh, I don't know. I don't love any of these options. Santiago Moreno is definitely in with a shout at £70. So is One Sang. Ruiz at 57. Rodriguez at 123. I just don't think we can justify that much, to be honest, on our midfielder. Cifuentes is definitely within a shout. He does DMP now and again. Okay, maybe not as much as I thought, but he has performed a lot better this season than last, to be fair to him. Last season, a load of DMPs in the mix. Do I trust him enough at £49? Do I trust him enough? Maybe I do. With the likes of Bale joining them, I just think maybe they're in a position now. Well, I think they were in a position anyway. I think they're still top of the league in the MLS. Yeah, that could be a good shout for £50, You know what? We're going to add him in. Cifuentes is going to be our midfielder at £50, which leaves us just under £200 to get a forward and an extra player, which, to be fair, isn't a bad position to be in. So, forward-wise, I'd love to get a Talas Magno, but he is going to be too expensive for us. Castellanos has recently moved, so he won't be available for us. Mitsuta at £137 isn't bad. I would like to get like a nice standout forward if we could. Jesus Ferreira to 177 isn't bad. Brandon Vasquez could be a shout at £61. And Brenner, the same rough price as well, both playing for Cincinnati. The Brandon Vasquez double, could that work for us? 2 forwards. We would come in way under budget. Cho Young-wook's definitely an option at £58. Let's have a little look down here. Veroni, I really do like this for £62, but I think he'll do really, really well there. Joveljic has been good of late. Alan Velasco at just under £100. I don't love it. Yeah, do we just bank on Cincinnati scoring a load of goals? When Acosta's back in the team, I do fancy them to score more goals, you know, with Vasquez and Brenner up front. Maybe that could be the play. You know what? We're going to go with the double Vasquez and Brenner, and then I'm going to see how much we have left over and see what we can do if we got rid of Cifuentes. Okay, so that leaves us with £114 to get a midfielder. Don't get me wrong, I do like Cifuentes, but if we have a little bit of money left over, I would like to spend it if we can. Santiago Rodriguez comes in at 123. That would be just over budget. I think you might have to let me off for this video and maybe just go over budget slightly, because I think that would make this team not elite, but for £500, it's a very good team in my opinion. The 2 forward situation is risky, but you know, let's put Rodriguez in. So we come in at £10 over the £500 limit. Obviously, that is floor price. So in theory, you could make offers on these players and get this team for cheaper than what the floor price is, of course. But yeah, the Cincinnati forward situation, I mean, I don't love it, but I think it could work. I do think we could see double decisives here quite often, you know, where maybe Brenner assists Vasquez, Vasquez assists Brenner, and I do think there could be merit in that. Don't get me wrong, this team's not the best under-23 team you're ever going to see, but of course we're playing on a budget, and that budget is £500. And to be honest, I kind of like it. 3 MLS players, midfielder, forward, and then the Shonen stack. This is the type of team where obviously, you know, you're going to need a clean sheet, allow Daiki and Tani to get a good enough score to compete. Rodriguez just needs to get you a DA, or his AA in general is normally pretty good, playing on a dominant team like New York. And then Cincinnati, you just want him to score goals. And you just obviously want Vasquez and Brenner to be involved in that. And they normally are. Just having a look at the top goal scorers in the league. Vasquez is on 11, to be fair to him. And then where is Brenner? Have I missed him? I know he scored a few in one game, but maybe he hasn't scored many since then. I know he didn't start the first few games of the season, to be fair to him. So, you know, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, he scored 5 goals, 4 assists, which isn't bad at all, to be completely honest. And then obviously Vasquez with his 11 goals. I kind of don't mind it. Let me know what you think of this team. If you are going to build a non-European under-23 team, it's going to have to be a mixture between Asia and America. I don't think you can really get a good enough team out of Asia alone. But I think the combination of both, the hybrid situation, is probably where it's at. And I would be interested to see how this team performs for the remainder of the season, whether it would get you any prizes or not. We do this and apply power and see how many times this team scores well, basically. So 337 in game week 288 is when this team scored the highest. That would have won you a tier 3. And this would have won you a tier 3 as well, which is pretty low actually, to be fair. A tier 2 with 303 points, a tier 3 again with 327, and then another tier 2. So this team obviously does win prizes, 5 rewards when they've all played this season. But to be fair, I'm not seeing any tier 1s there. That doesn't mean to say that they're not going to win you any tier 1s going forward. So yeah, for me, I think it's a decent team. Let me know what you would change, if you would change anything. I know the 2 forwards is a little bit ballsy, but with a new matrix change, I just feel more comfortable doing that for now. 2 midfielders could have worked as well. With the whole Cincinnati link up, I just felt like it just made sense. I probably wouldn't have gone with 2 forwards if they weren't playing on the same team. And I'm lucky in this situation because it's not as if I'm picking 2 forwards from the same team and one doesn't score at all, but the other one scores quite a few. Like, they're quite balanced out in terms of, you know, they both have goals and assists to their name this season. So yeah, let me know what you think of the team. Hope you did enjoy the video. If you are new to Sorare and you haven't actually signed up yet, there's a link in the description of this video that will get you 1 free limited card once you've purchased 5 from the new card auctions. Hope you enjoy your day. Hope you have a great game week, and I shall see you guys in the next video.